Hi guys, I'm Marsha.
And I'm Hugh.
Welcome to my channel. Wait.
Make a prosciutto wrapped scallop on a rosemary skewer. I'm going to serve it with a coconut basmati rice cake and a ginger curry broth. When we have Chinese or Thai, we always make extra rice because we eat it with other stuff. And also, we flavor it ahead of time. We always put a couple pieces of lemongrass in it, a cup of garlic cloves, and a chunk of ginger. Now, you can pull that out after the rice is cooked, but to make the cake, it's very easy. You take 2 cups of rice, split it in half. You put 1 cup in a blender with coconut milk, and you puree it till it's smooth. And then you add that to the bowl of regular rice that's been seasoned, and you add your coconut to that. And all you do is you fold it in and put it in a little form where you can make a patty, and it stays that way because there's enough starch in that, and where it'll get a nice crust on the outside and it'll still be creamy on the inside. So first we're going to start it. You want to have your pan on medium heat. You want to get a little bit of cornstarch because sometimes the rice has a little bit more moisture than others, and if it does, it will stick. So basically you just want to go real easy. And this is an appetizer with 1 scallop on a skewer with 1 cake, but it can be very easily moved over to an entree by doing 2 or 3 scallops and a bigger cake, which this portion of 2 cups of rice gave me 5 pretty decent cakes, but you could very easily take it and make it to 2 cakes, and it would be very, very big. So once we start doing that, we'll do that, and it's easy cook. You don't have to do a lot, just keep it on medium. And as soon as they get some color on them, you're going to take and you're going to just flip them over. And it's very easy. You can do it all in one pan. It takes about 15 minutes, and it can transfer over to something very easy and simple to something very elegant, just by what you do to it. You can see it's starting to get a little color, and that's plenty. You don't need it, and you can also, once you do these, you can put them in your oven on low and keep them warm while you continue to do the other stuff that goes with it. For me, it's very easy. For some people, it doesn't have a lot of cooking experience. You might want to take your time and turn the pan down so you don't burn the cakes, because once the rice is singed and scorched, it doesn't taste good anymore. So you want to make sure you do that. You see, it's very quick. And if you make the cakes even a little smaller, it is even quicker. Now all I need to do is get a little color on these, and I'm going to transfer them to the oven. And then I'm going to get ready to do my scallops. Now the scallops cook really quick also. We're using a U15 scallop right now, which means it's up to 15 to a pound. So they're at least an ounce a piece. I prefer to use U10s or lower count because it's a bigger scallop and you can serve it medium without overcooking it. To overcook a scallop is like a rubber ball. You only want to cook it to medium. See, now these are pretty much good. I'm going to put them on a tray, and I'll put them in the oven once I get ready to assemble the dish to make sure they're nice and hot inside. And see, the pan's relatively clean. It doesn't make a lot of mess, but you want all that flavoring in the pan since the rice is already flavored with oriental flavoring. So you do that, and then you're going to take and you're going to put some oil in the pan and maybe just turn it up just a little. And this is a one-pan dish, meaning if you were going to cook for your spouse or cook for your girlfriend or cook for your husband and you wanted something easy and didn't want to dirty a lot of pans, you can do this all in one pan, which you want to because you want all the flavor of everything that comes out to it. So I'm going to turn the pan up a little bit, and now I'm going to do my bacon wrapped scallops, or my prosciutto wrapped scallops. Now they're very easy to do. You want to take it, and the way your prosciutto comes in the store, whether you have them slice it for you or you buy a pack, you just slice it lengthwise and roll the scallop up and just use the rosemary skewer with a little point on it. You cut with a pair of scissors and you just push it in. And then you season it with just a little bit of pepper because the prosciutto is very salty. So you don't need the salt with the scallop. The scallop, you want to keep it like it is. As soon as you put them in the pan, you'll hear a little sizzle. And it says it's very quick to do, but with somebody that doesn't have a lot of cooking experience, you might want to do it a couple of times and take your time before you want to do it and try to impress somebody. Because there's nothing more than a burnt piece of fish or an overcooked piece of fish. And you don't have to cover them. Usually when I do this, I put them on a paper towel to absorb the liquid in the scallop, because the drier the scallop is, the better sear it will have in the pan. And also the more texture, you're going to bring out the natural sugar in the scallop to give it a good texture and mouthfeel when you put it in your mouth. The scallops don't take very long. You're only talking maybe a minute to 2 minutes on each side, and you'll see. You also notice that the prosciutto will start to cook and it'll get crispy and it'll tighten up a little bit, so you don't have to worry about it falling off the scallop. And it also makes for a good presentation because you're warming up the rosemary and the oil in the pan. So you not only have what it's visually appealing, but it smells good when you put it on the plate. So as we do this, so you'll see, look already, see, it's very quick. Now another minute, I'll pull these off and let these drain. And then I'm going to make my sauce in the pan, which is very simple. It's just a little white wine, a few drops of sesame oil, some green curry paste, salt and pepper, and coconut milk, which we use a brand that's definitely from Thailand, because it is a more consistent quality. It doesn't, all the fat doesn't go to one side or the other. It stays pretty much homogenized, what you want when you go to put it in the pan. So you're able to whisk it all in and make sure it all dissolves evenly. So now these are done, and I'm going to just take them and pull them off and let them drain. See, that's what I said, very quick. If you like your scallops done a little bit more, you don't really have to worry about it. Another 30 seconds or so, and they'll be pretty much good. Okay, you don't need to drain the pan. That oil is fine because that's going to help you finish your sauce. Maybe if you have a little bit too much, you might want to drain some of it. But I think for this, I might just drain just a little bit. And you only want about a tablespoon of oil or so in your pan. So first I'm going to take it and I'm going to put in my ginger. And it's fresh ginger from the store. You just take it and put it on a grater, and you just grate it. Most people like to take a spoon and peel it, but for this, since I put it on a grater, a microflame, it breaks all that up, and so you don't have nothing tough. You only cook it for about 10 to 15 seconds. You put your wine in. You want to make sure you swirl it around and pick up, and if you could smell it right now, you would have a definitely recollection if you had went into a good Thai restaurant and smell what they were cooking, because this is exactly what the smell is that you're smelling. Next you put that in, and you want to open up your jar of green curry, but first you want to make sure this is going, and you see how it's starting to thicken, so it's already done. Now you just put in your coconut milk. You can use a whole can or a half a can depending how much you want to make, and really you're not going to cook it very much more after this. Once you're going to put this in and let it come to temp, and you need to warm it up, because if you don't, the curry paste will not dissolve in it. You'll have a hard time getting the curry paste to dissolve. So we like it spicy, so I always do this. And I just judge it because I know how much we like. Usually we'll use a quarter of a jar. And that way we know that it's going to be spicy. But if I'm going to put hot peppers in it, if I want the Thai extra spicy, I use a sweeter wine. Maybe not a Chardonnay, maybe more like a Riesling. Something that's got a little sweet to it. especially champagne or Prosecco, Italian champagne, works really good for this because it brings the sweetness out of the curry. So this is pretty much done. So all we have to do is just make sure it's hot and give a little salt and pepper. And I really don't even need to taste it because I've made this so many times for my wife and my family, and working in restaurants, that I know already how it's going to taste. But people like different kind of curry. Green curry's a kind of a mild one, but we have bought some cans that was yellow curry and red curry, and it was like the balls of fire. It was so spicy that our portion of curry turned out to be too much. So we kind of watched, we know what brands we like to buy that we know we can gauge it. And that's pretty much done. And right at the end, you want to give it a couple drops of lime juice, maybe a tablespoon and a half. And since that's done now, we're good. So we're going to come back over here and we're going to come to our plate and we're going to show you what this, because I'm entertaining 2 people. So I'm going to put a double portion on a plate, but usually I would go a smaller plate and only use 1 cake. So first, you want to make sure your cakes are hot. They'll stay good in the oven. You put 2 on the plate. You'll come past with 2 scallops. And as I said, this is something, if you want to impress somebody, you can make it, and it's very easy to put something on the plate to impress them. Just lean them on the cakes. And we're going to come back and see, I'm going to get my sauce now. And it's very easy. Whether you pour or you take a spoon and just give them a little goes a long way. And if they want more, they can always ask for more. And I like to garnish it with some lemon zest or maybe some very fine julienne scallions. And you have something there that is definitely will please anybody who likes seafood or likes Asian food. There's a little bit of fresh lemon zest on it, and it not only looks good, but the extra citrus, the oils in the lemon, make the sauce and the scallops snap. It brings a lot of texture, and plus when you put it in front of somebody, they smell the oil of the lemon before they put that in their mouth. And so it becomes very visually and sensibly delicious because they're smelling it before they put it in their mouth. So they already have an idea of what they're going to be eating. So you can do this as an entree, or I did as an appetizer. And it would be very good for a holiday meal or just entertaining. You just use a smaller cake. And I went and used the form to make them. But it's easy, you can patty them up in a meatball size and press them out, and it's perfect. You can put the scallop right on top of it. I hope you enjoyed this. This is brought to you by Food for Our Reasons Farm and Chef Service, which I am the owner and chef, and hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.
Well guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you'll know the next time I upload another video. Talk to you later.